pull the power cord from behind the unit and just place it underneath the leg or underneath the unit itself so it doesn't fall to the floor, and just leave it there for a moment. Then go to the router and do the same thing. Unplug the router and put the power cord directly underneath the foot of that router so it doesn't fall to the floor again. Wait a good 10 or 15 seconds. At that point, you want to plug in the modem first. The modem usually takes about 2 or 3 minutes to set itself up. At that point, you'll see normal flashing lights except for one, and it should be the PC light. When you plug in the router, after about 15-20 seconds or so of the modem setting itself up, plug in the router, and that PC light then will light up, and it will give you the impression that things are communicating between the router and the modem properly. At that point, it takes literally about 5 or 6 seconds for that router to put itself online with the proper IP address, which is an address that is given directly from your ISP, whether it be Verizon or Comcast. At that point, you should then be online. Now, you may have some problems occasionally with your wireless connection, and this is where it becomes a little bit more tricky. You don't necessarily need to unplug your modem and your router to try to reestablish your wireless connection. Look at your computer first. Most of the time, and I know with some of these new laptops, they're much faster, they have huge hard drives, 2 gig of RAM, and they're crunching a lot of numbers because of the new Vista system. And because of this, the computers themselves are running a little bit hotter, and consequently the network cards that are built inside them are failing. Have you found this to be a problem?
I haven't found it a problem because I'm no longer using a notebook computer.
Well, that's one way to solve the problem.
Yeah, that solved my problem entirely. And if I can stay away from notebooks, I will. Well, I think soon we'll have other alternatives. In fact, we do have other alternatives that are just coming on the market.
Well, I have to say, for those of us who rely on a laptop on a regular basis, these little techniques that I'm about to tell you will help you reestablish connection with your home router.
Well, you got 4 minutes to clue them in. Jason.
All right, so here it goes. First of all, the easiest, the best way is just to simply restart your computer. I know it can be a pain, but try to restart your computer. When your computer restarts, be familiar also with what software handles your wireless connection. A lot of cards, such as Linksys, come with its own proprietary software. You don't necessarily need to use that. I would disable that and use Windows XP or Vista's wireless connection software to be able to connect to the wireless setup of your choice. It's much easier, much faster, and it's more universal. So if you ever change computers, if you keep using the same wireless software, it becomes easier and easier to understand what's going on with your computer and your wireless connection. If you aren't connecting, one thing that you want to look for is, first of all, near the clock in the lower right-hand corner of a Vista screen or a Windows XP machine, you should see your wireless connection. When you hover over it, it'll give you a few pieces of information. First, it should tell you how good your signal strength is. Also, it should tell you where you're connected. Now, a lot of us are putting in wireless routers and they're not changing any of the parameters. For instance, Linksys. When you plug in the Linksys router, wireless router, it will automatically send out a signal. It's called an SSID identifier that just says Linksys. Well, if you and all your neighbors all buy the same exact router, you may have 4 Linksys routers right there in front of you. Well, which is the best one to go to? So the first thing that you would want to do is change that SSID so it's easily understandable for you, so it's easy to gravitate towards it. So when you hover over your wireless connection, it will say this is my Florida home internet connection. Check that signal strength. If you are unable to connect to it, right-click on that little indicator and go up to, for Vista, it's connect to a network, or with Windows 98, it should say something to the effect of view available wireless networks. When this window opens, it should give you a list of any wireless connection that may be in the area. I know, and this might be a little funny anecdote as to how long we've been doing this. In the beginning, it was only one, our own. Now I literally go in areas and there's 10, 20 of them available to me. So make sure that you identify your wireless network. When you've identified your wireless network, select it and then connect. At this particular point, you should be able to connect to your wireless network. If not, there should be a refresh button. Keep refreshing it until you get your signal. If you still have problems, again, restart the machine and try connecting again. I hope that helps most of us get connected. It really is a simple process. For the most part, wireless network cards last about 2 to 3 years in some of these units. They will die out. They do run a little bit hotter than normal. Best and easiest way to correct it, restart the computer and use your utilities to help identify. And when you become a master at identifying your own local connection at your home or office, going out on the town, such as here in Sarasota, Randy, we have the Main Street all free Wi-Fi. You can literally go to any of those restaurants that may be on that street or sit in your car
it's great.
and be able to connect to it without any issues.
Yeah, I've done that. I've enjoyed my cup of tea outside the Whole Earth Market and the library, for that matter. And I think it's great. And I'm a big proponent of that free internet access by Wi-Fi. It's getting better and better.
Exactly.
And it's worldwide. It's all over the world. Even in Cambodia, in my local hangout, the Foreign Correspondents Club. That's where I go.
I just wish it was a little faster.
Hey, you'd be surprised just how fast it is, and it can only get better. And when I first lived in Cambodia in 1994, we had no internet whatsoever. And now I've got Wi-Fi access, and this is 12, 13 short years later.
And speaking of fast, can you believe it? It's at the
Bloody
end of
show
the
has
hour
come to an end
again.
again. We're having
For
so
some
much
of us,
fun.
that might be a good thing. For some of us, it might be a bad thing. I tell you, I just love talking to you people out there in Sarasota, and hopefully soon be able to have you on WTMY.com's website so you can listen to our past shows. Or again, if you want to listen to our past shows and haven't heard it, give me a call. Contact me. I'd be more than happy to send it out to you.
And if you're having a problem with your internet access, just call TC. He's going to
right.
give you his number.
Well, first I'm going to give you my email. That's tc@suncoastcomputergroup.com, tc@suncoastcomputergroup.com, my local company here in Sarasota, or 941-342-6061.
Folks, I'm going to give you a break and not give you mine this week. We have run out of time, and we don't want to compromise our studio.
All right. Well, thank you again for listening to another exciting episode of the Sarasota Computer Show. Thanks again, and tune in next week.
Bye, folks.
Bye now.